Welcome to the OGs. I am Ryan Sparks, aka Touched Artist. Thanks for watching this first episode of the OGs. I want to bring in Brian Maxberry. B-Max, how's it going, man? How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Happy to be here. What's
you
up?
Excited? You good?
Man, all types of excited.
Yeah, all types of excited. So on today's show, we're going to talk about the Sony State of Play from... What was that? That's almost it was last week, right?
Yeah.
So
we
were planning on releasing this show last Friday. It just didn't happen. Life kind of got away.
Life is real.
As it happens when you've got three kids
on both sides.
Like on both sides of this, it was like,
hopefully you guys would just kind of hang in there with us. You know, it's all love, right?
Yeah. So we're gonna try to do a show every other week, but we're also going to have some content in between on our off weeks, so hopefully you guys enjoy that. But here we're going to kick this off with our show open, so enjoy.
Sorry, I had to cut you off. I know you're about to say something. But man, that intro slaps.
It's so cool, right?
Viewers, listeners,
so cool.
Please let us know what you guys think of that intro, because it gives me goosebumps every time I hear it, just being honest.
I think it's a lot of fun. I'm you know this. I'm all about the old school.
Exactly. That's why we're the OGs.
Part of the OGs, right?
Come on.
Like if I can play an old school side scroller or, Space Invaders. So if you're watching the video, you can see the Space Invaders background right now. This is Space Invaders background 2 of 4 because we have 4 set up for the show. But what are you playing, Brian? What's on your list right now?
Man, so it's really weird because there's tons to play, but I know we like to stay up to date on new releases.
Yeah,
but it's kind of a drought right now, so I'm kind of going back into my backlog. And I picked up Destiny again. Shout out to my buddy Adam Hannekamp. He mentioned it in a text message. I said, you know what? Why not? Let me get back into Destiny 2. And man, I am back into Destiny 2. Like, I play it more than anything else that I own at the moment. It's very fun. It's one of those games where there's a massive checklist of things to do, but it doesn't feel like a checklist. A lot of it is, I don't know. It's I guess the well varied. Like there's PvE. Oh god. There's PvE and there's PvP. If you like building characters, there's 3 different classes. There's so many different pieces of armor, so many different pieces of weapons. There's just a lot to it. I don't think there's any wrong time to dive into Destiny. On top of the expansions as well, and they're doing seasons, so I can go on for and there's also a battle pass since it's free to play. There's just a lot going on with this game, and shout out to the developers. Sorry, Bungie. They know what they're doing. They are nailing this. I know people hate to hear the term. What's the phrase? Like for living, breathing multiplayer games. I'm sorry, I'm having a brain fart.
Service.
Games as service. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you.
Yeah.
I know people hate to hear that phrase, but I think when it's done right, it's not something to be afraid of or to shy away from. And Destiny 2 is a games as service, but it's done right. So I'm playing that.
I think you can go from one extreme to the other with games as a service.
Exactly. I agree.
FIFA is kind of that way, and I know they don't refer to it as a games as a service game, but like with the Ultimate Team, I feel like that's kind of where they're headed with that a little bit more than what And it's not free to play. You're paying $60
on top of,
and then you're paying another
if you're into Ultimate Team.
Yeah, if you're in the Ultimate Team.
Yeah.
But I think that Destiny does do it right. I think you're spot on there. The other game that I think does it the best is Fortnite.
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
Fortnite has the best.
Yeah, they honestly like kind of created like the blueprint. There's a lot of companies that had games as service and didn't know how to keep it going, and they started battle passes. They started seasons, and they were mimicking what Epic Games was doing with Fortnite. Um, I know people like to laugh because outside looking in, you see these goofy skins and you see these goofy dances, but they really know what they're doing with this. It's pretty clever. Um, the other game I'm playing is Nobody Saves the World. It's definitely on Game Pass if you guys are on PC and Xbox. Don't know why, but I am a Switch PlayStation gamer before anything else. So, like an idiot, I waited for it to release on Switch and purchased it, even though I have Game Pass. Don't judge me, but it is a fantastic game.
We'll talk a little bit more about that here later
Yeah.
because I'm in the same boat with another game. So
Nice. Okay.
yeah.
So yeah, I know I went crazy on Destiny, so I won't spend too much time on Nobody Saves the World. But it's from Drinkbox Studios. It's the team that did the Guacamelee games, which are fantastic. It's a really neat game. If you really like dungeon crawlers, I highly recommend it. It's also co-op. I know at launch it was just split screen co-op, but they've done updates to where you can do online multiplayer co-op, and it's a game I highly recommend. Very fun.
Cool. Yeah. No, I've been in that boat where I'm like, oh, I just bought this game, and then we find out it's on Game Pass. Then I'm like, what?
Right.
Yeah. So now I've now trained myself well enough to know, like, go look at Game Pass first and make sure, like, because one of the games that's on my now playing list is that Pac-Man Museum, right? Where you like build your own arcade.
That's awesome.
Essentially out of all old Pac-Man games and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's on Game Pass for PC and on Xbox. And your progress, it's a play anywhere game.
Oh, so it
carries over. So when I played it on Xbox first, and I came to the PC, and when it booted up, it went to sync all the data, and I was like, awesome. So it carries over.
Check that out.
But I'm playing that. I'm playing Sniper Elite 5.
Ooh.
I am not sure how I feel about it.
Really?
I liked Sniper Elite better than I liked Sniper Ghost Warrior. If you're familiar, I'm sure you're familiar with both series at this point. They've been around what seems like forever.
Yeah.
The zoom in feature that Sniper Elite 5 has when you kill someone is by far one of my favorite camera things in games.
The slow-mo kills?
Yeah, the slow-mo kills. And I know we're trying to stay semi-family friendly, but I do want to share some of this gameplay footage just so people can kind of see like what this game is
what they're
like
getting into
while we're talking here.
Are you going to show one of the slow-mo kills?
I don't know. Am I? I have no idea.
I can't wait.
I'm literally going to share. There's a video out on YouTube that's like the first 19 minutes of the game.
Oh, nice.
So this is kind of shows you like what you can do and do some crazy stuff. So yeah, here's your first slow-mo kill right off the bat here. Yeah, like straight through the heart, right?
Oh,
that game, it's just one of those things for me, like that just that split second where it slows down and zooms in.
Never gets old.
Oh my God, it's so cool. But like I am one of these people that now is trying to perfect the art of killing two people with one bullet.
Nice.
There's an achievement for it. So I have caught myself like waiting and waiting
for them to like line up.
And I'm the most impatient person with this game because I just want to run and gun to a certain extent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can't.
Yeah, not in this game.
I have to sit and wait. But it is really, really fun. I think that they could have done more. I also think that I might just be over World War II-ish.
Yeah, I feel like so everyone takes place World War II, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And then there's a downloadable mission in this one where you can kill Hitler again.
Nice.
And I still have
that never gets old, right?
I still have that bullet. There was a pre-order bonus for Sniper Elite 3. If you pre-ordered it, you got the bullet that said "Kill Hitler" on it.
Yeah, I remember. Was it a keychain?
Yeah, it's a keychain. I still have it. It's literally like hanging up here on the wall, right on the other side of the monitor, along with all of my buttons and name tags from when I was a store manager. Yeah. So, but yeah, I really do think that I'll probably play a lot more of that.
Nice.
I played some more Lego Star Wars.
Wait, sorry, hate to interrupt. Is
no, you're good.
Sniper Elite 5 on Game Pass?
Yes.
Or is that...
Game Pass on PC and Xbox.
Man.
So you can go either way.
Goodbye Destiny 2, huh?
Yeah.
Because the Sniper Elite games are a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think that game is by far one of the best games that's not a first-party title. That's on Game Pass. And then I played some Star Wars Legos. Minecraft Dungeons is having its 2nd anniversary party. Like it's like a 2-year birthday party that they're doing. So they have some special things going on right now. So I jumped into that again, which I hadn't played in a really long time. It's like Diablo, but with Minecraft, right? So
nice.
I have that on Switch, and then it's on Game Pass as well.
Might have to check that one out. I'm pretty sure my son would probably get into that. He loves Minecraft.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's ever played a dungeon crawler, so that might be something right up his alley.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Like, I think they did a good job with it, and the extra DLC stuff is really cool.
Nice.
And I want to give a shout out while we're talking about playing on Switch to Fixture Gaming. I know we both have picked up the new Fixture S2.
Yes. Thanks to you and that Twitter post.
I was like, these are the best. So this is the Fixture S1. You really can't tell the difference between the two a whole heck of a lot. There's some new changes to the S2 that just make it better for the OLED Switch. But shout out to Fixture Gaming. They actually hooked me up. My first one got lost in the mail. And after like going on social media and talking to them back and forth, they actually sent me another one, which is super nice of them. But I literally ordered it like less than 5 minutes after it announced that it was available for sale. And I had been bugging them all spring. Like, when's it coming? When's it coming? When can I order it? Because I still think that the Fixture S1, other than the Pro Controller, is the best accessory for the Switch.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that.
It's what do you like the most about it?
So like,
I'm not sure, like mine.
Yeah, I can't speak for everyone, but that Switch Pro controller, it really is one of the best controllers there is out there, to be quite honest. And so when you're playing handheld and using the Joy-Cons attached to the Switch, which is not bad, but when you're adult with adult hands, they start to cramp if you're playing for long periods of time. And so with this fixture, this S1 and S2 fixture, being able to use your Pro controller in handheld mode is life-changing. And I don't know, it looks basic, but I know they did some weight balancing and calibrating.
That's the thing I like the most.
Yeah, because I was nervous.
The thing I like the most about it is I can move the screen up here if I want to play it like this, and it feels better there. Or a lot of times when I play, I like it really close, so my thumbs are really like tight up against
where you
the
can't even
back.
see the controller. Right.
Yeah. And Genius. I don't know who designed this thing, but it is by far the best accessory other than the Pro controller.
Like, I want to high five the entire team.
Yeah, I mean,
they nailed it.
I cannot get enough of this thing, and I had to get the new one.
Yeah.
I actually would like them to make one for the Lite, and I know that sounds crazy. And I also know it probably wouldn't sell, so that's why they won't do it.
That's a one-off.
But it's a one-off thing where I'm like, I still don't like how that Lite feels, but I love the Pro controller. The other thing that is out there, and this is kind of the opposite. So the Fixture S1 is $40, right? It was $39.99.
Worth every penny.
I think it was $40. I think that's right.
Sounds about right.
We should probably research that before we get too far. But
yeah,
I also have the Hori Split Pro controller that essentially is two Joy-Cons, like that they're bigger, so it feels like the Pro controller. and you just put that on each side of the system. This is a decent alternative, but it is nothing like the S1 or the S2. So if the S1 and S2 are available and you have a Pro controller, spend the money and get it. Like, you won't be disappointed at all. Fixture did a heck of a job on those things.
Yeah. I can't remember what game, but I believe those were bundled with like a game. It was like a mech game or something.
Oh, yes. I have the other ones.
I have think of the name of the game.
It wasn't bundled with the game, but it was marketed with that game.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It was. No, you're good. I have those. I have the gray ones somewhere in here, in this room. I have all kinds of stuff like thrown everywhere right now because I'm working on the. Here it is. I knew I had it right here.
Yeah. Yep. Those are the ones.
This is when you know you play too much Switch, bro. Like, because you're like, oh, I have those too.
To be honest, though, Nintendo, they're like the masters of accessories.
Yeah,
they know what they're doing to get you.
I to this day will say, like, I am a Nintendo fan first.
Yeah, same.
And it doesn't matter. Like, everybody's like, but the games don't look as good, and I was like,
they're fun.
They play great.
Exactly.
Like, and that's really where we're at. Like, before we went live on the show, I actually said to you, I was like, I'm super excited for a Pokemon game, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
Like, it's coming out in November, and I'm like, that's my November purchase.
Yep. Same.
And I don't really know. I don't think I've finished one since Red or Blue, if we want to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
I think I keep thinking back and going, I know I played Silver and Diamond and Pearl. Like, I have those. Arceus, I haven't finished yet.
That one I haven't finished Arceus.
I don't want to know how many hours I put into it while we were on the flight to and from Arizona, because I played it both ways. And our flight home from Arizona was actually Arizona to Seattle and then Seattle home.
Oh, wow.
So that was a pretty long trek.
Yeah.
And then I played it a lot of the time that we were in the hotel on that trip, but I haven't really played it since. But I liked it. But I just got frustrated with some of the side quests. Yeah. And I'm the guy who took 4 years to beat Batman Arkham Asylum because I was trying to complete it. Right. So like, if it's an open world game, it's going to take way too much of my time. So that's where I'm at with the Arceus. That's why I'm like, I'm good. I'll just put it off to the side. But I'm excited for the new Pokemon. It's Violet, right?
Scarlet and Violet.
Scarlet and Violet. November 18th, I think, is the release date on those. But
did you see those the new Pokemon they showed off?
Yeah. Dude. I think it's cool. Like, I don't know how I really, like, if I'm really that excited about it, or if it's just the hype. Like, am I on the hype train? Because it's possible.
Right.
It's completely possible that I am just on this hype train for Pokemon, and I don't know why. But I mean, I can definitely see myself kind of digging into it and playing it quite a bit. And I have some friends, like, we have some mutual acquaintances that are
just
like
diehard,
so into Pokemon that it seems unhealthy, right? Like,
Ryan, all I gotta say is this, man. I know he's not a starter. He or she is not a starter, but Lechonk will be my main. I don't know if you've seen Lechonk. I don't know if you know that pigs are my favorite animals, but it is the most adorable Pokemon I've ever seen in my life. Yeah,
I mean, this stuff looks
great.
I think it looks great. I think cartoon wise, like, it looks fantastic.
People on Twitter were simping all over these professors.
Yeah, for me, I guess my issue with it, I want them to do voiceovers.
Yeah, I feel like Nintendo is just not about it. But that's been my biggest gripe with Nintendo published games in general. Like, they just don't do voice work.
And it's such an easy thing that they could do.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
Will it take up more memory for the game? Sure.
Yes.
But, like,
so worth it.
It's missing. That's what it's missing.
Yeah, and it's not even like about like, oh man, I gotta read. No, we're adults. We read. No big deal. But it pulls you out of the immersion. You know what I mean?
Speak for yourself. For me, it's I don't want to read. Part of it is I'm the OG, and, like, reading it on this screen is
not happening.
No. I'm like,
well, if you got the S2 with the OLED,
I know, and
I'm living the dream.
I'm still, bro. It doesn't matter. Like, and the thing is my eyesight's not bad,
right?
But I tend to play Switch late at night, like when I'm getting ready for bed,
right?
And like, I don't want to sit there and read. Like,
I feel you, man.
Give me some, like, even Sonic gives me some voiceovers. In some stuff,
as bad as they may be. Sorry for people who love Sonic, but man,
I love me some Sonic. But like,
me too. But
like Sonic Forces had voice acting in it, and it was god awful. But like, at least it was there. Like I can hear what they're saying. That's the other, like, there's a lot of games that I just wish that they did that. And Nintendo seems to be the one that just doesn't care.
Right.
Like they're like, you're learning how to read, kid.
Like, that used to be a selling point when I was at GameStop. Like, well, hey, there's no voice acting, so your kids are going to have to read all the text.
Yeah, they're going to have to learn how to read this text.
Yeah, and it used to work, actually. So.
Yeah, I mean, that was the anti-selling point for me on GTA. I remember GTA 5 when it released, and me telling people, it was on 360, and me telling this grandma, like, you don't want to get this game for your grandkid. Like, you're going to be in here tomorrow complaining because you're going to hear a word that you don't want to hear.
Exactly.
And she came in that next day, and she's like, can you believe what they said in this game? I was like, yes, ma'am. That's why I told you not to buy it.
Yeah. Man, I'll never forget, like, talking to customers about that game. Like, obviously, you hear Grand Theft Auto, you instantly think prostitutes, you think nudity, get all that. But man, when I played through the campaign and hit that point, sorry, spoilers, it's been out forever.
It's on every console. It's like,
exactly, you've played it.
Skyrim at this point. We've seen it on everything.
But there's a point in the game where you have to torture someone.
Oh, and that wasn't the worst point for me.
Oh, that wasn't the one for me.
That's not the one. It
didn't sit well with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was brutal. It was
the one that caught my attention.
Let's hear it.
And I still laugh about it to this day because it's funny to me. Remember when you're chasing the girl that's the, like, Britney Spears lookalike?
Yes.
And you're like chasing her, and she goes to like her boyfriend's house or whatever, and you're being paparazzi in that scene.
Yes.
That's what got me. That was the one where I was like, all right,
that was a bit much.
We might have gone too far here.
Yeah, a bit too far here.
And then I'm like, maybe we didn't, because it was hilarious.
It was funny.
But yeah, like, I remember that and just being like, I know a bunch of 8-year-olds that bought this game because, you know, that was kind of how it was. But
yeah, and if they play the campaign.
Speaking of inappropriate games for your kids, let's jump right into the state of play, because there are some that my kids are a no-go and some that I'm a no-go on. Specifically one that I know you're pretty excited about, and I know we have a friend who's going to come on the show eventually and talk about it, because she'll be all about this game. But Resident Evil 4.
Whew. Man. So, like, me personally, you can ask anyone that knows me, I am just like you, Ryan, like, in no disrespect, big chicken. I just don't do scary. I don't do scary games because they just stress me out. But RE4, when it released on GameCube at the time, that was the first Resident Evil game that I actually played through. And I know some people don't like it because it transitioned from horror to an action-based game. But for me, it made it playable because it was more so action-based than being a horror-based game. It still has very creepy, scary moments. But just like the controls, the story, this is to me, one of the best games ever made. So the fact that they're redoing this and the way that it looks, oh my God, take my money. I'm in. It looks so good.
I get the being scared and not wanting that. I also am I'm not a zombie guy. And I know they're not technically zombies.
Right.
You really want to be that way. But like Capcom, this is the one game for me that Capcom can literally take their money and just stake it in. This is going to sell, right? Like, people are going to buy this game.
Yeah.
People are going to pee their pants playing this game because they're making it PSVR 2 compatible.
Ugh. You know, that's a different story. I don't think I'll touch the PSVR 2 version.
There's no way.
Oh man. So you haven't played the original at all, have you?
I played, so the one that I played the most was Resident Evil 5.
Okay.
Because it had the I can't remember what the name of the mode was called, but it was like essentially where you could play like waves. It was like a kind of
I could be wrong, and feel free to correct us in the comments. But is it Mercenaries?
mercenaries mode. That's it.
Okay,
It was
yeah, I
mercenaries
believe
mode.
other games have that. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and fake the funk. I've played a bunch of Capcom games, but I believe most Resident Evils, after a playthrough, you unlock a Mercenaries mode.
Okay. I think the first one that I ever got to play that in was 5.
Yeah.
And I think that might have been because I know when I had a couple staff members that were super into it at one point, and they were all playing it. So it was one of those things. But I mean, in addition to that game having the PSVR mode, like they also said they're doing Resident Evil Village.
Man.
And then there's going to be another Walking Dead game, which I'm again.
Yeah.
Can I get a game that isn't zombies?
Isn't zombies?
Please.
It's just a no brainer. People like to, be afraid, and it's so immersive with VR. Now, don't get me wrong though. The Saints and Sinners game, I think it was given away on PlayStation Plus months ago.
Yeah.
If you have PS Plus, it's definitely worth. Well, actually, not just PS Plus. I think if you just have a VR headset, it should be available on more than just PlayStation VR.
Right.
But it's actually like a legitimately good VR. Unfortunately, yes, it's another zombie game, but no, that is actually good. So I think Chapter 2 should be a really good time.
I think I'm just over zombies. Yeah. Is what it boils down to. I think ultimately I'm just like, I could go without having another zombie game and it would be okay.
Yeah, definitely.
But one thing I'm interested in seeing, so I know I'm in the minority. I actually enjoyed No Man's Sky.
Nice.
When it first released, because I wasn't all on the hype train.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know, like, and I was working at GameStop at the time. I remember it coming out and just being like, okay, this game looks kind of cool. It's a different change of pace for me. So that's why I enjoyed it, because it was just like, I'm going to go around and take pictures of these aliens and stuff. Like,
yeah.
But this game in VR looks like next level.
Definitely.
Like, so I'm interested to see kind of how they put that out there, because I think ultimately this is going to be one of the games that on PSVR 2 really shows itself off. And it's not a zombie game, so I'm excited.
Right.
But I mean, it looks super pretty.
No, I agree. This is one of those games where you're seriously like, if you're off and have zero obligations that day, you'll probably spend the day in this thing. You'll, obviously step away for breaks. But yeah, this is gonna completely be like the VR experience, man. It looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks really cool to me. I think it's gonna be one that I'm really gonna try to dive into. But one game that I haven't spent enough time with, and I bet you have, because I'd be willing to bet with your love for PlayStation, you've jumped into Horizon Forbidden West.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
So are you excited about this update? How do you feel about the PSVR game that they're going to release that's separate? Like,
yeah, I think it's Call of the Mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I'm all in. When it comes to first party, man, and I hate to sound biased because I'm an ex PlayStation employee, but they understand what first party means. They really put their heart and souls into these first party experiences. So I know for a fact this is going to be special.
I think for me, the first party single player PlayStation games are the best single player games experience.
I agree 100%.
And I still love me some Nintendo. So
same. Yeah, same here. You can see my little question block right here. Like, I love Nintendo.
Yeah. I just think that they really focus on that single player experience, and that's something that I'm always looking for. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy playing with friends or whatever, but it's a different experience when you're trying to like narrative driven games. For me, like I think Sony has it. Like they've
nailed it. Sure. They got it down to a science. And the funny thing is, man, there's so many different dev teams that are doing it on the same level or on a similar level. You know what I mean? Like a Naughty Dog game versus an Insomniac game are of the same caliber.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, well, it's Naughty Dog, so it's yes, this is the standard that I'm expecting. At this point with these first party dev teams, the way that they're putting their heart and souls into these games, like shout out to them, kudos to them.
Yeah,
They're
I think
making
that
beautiful games.
you mentioned Insomniac, and that's one that caught me off guard because I was not anticipating this one. But Marvel Spider-Man Remastered.
Oh yeah, PC.
For PC.
Come on.
So I bought
Yeah.
God of War for PC just because I wanted to see the difference on my PC versus my PS4. This Spider-Man game is still my favorite superhero game.
It's hands down. So good.
And it's funny because pre-pandemic, the last time that we saw each other face to face,
yeah,
you were working for Sony at the time. This game had just released, and you were in a Best Buy in Eastgate.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about
that. and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go see B-Max today. I'm gonna go out that way. And it was that game that had come out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what that looks like on PC.
Yeah, same here. One thing I'm also curious about are like, I know sales aren't completely important, but man, like I'm really curious to see what type of numbers this game's going to do off of a PlayStation console.
Yeah.
Because I mean, think about how many gamers are just stuck to, one console, including PC, not necessarily by choice. And think about all the buzz around just Marvel and Spider-Man, and look at the ratings and the reviews of this game. I honestly think this might be one of the biggest PlayStation ports to PC. Like as big as Horizon is, as big as God of War is, I think this Spider-Man game is so fun. It's like it just really captures the essence of Spider-Man in general.
Well,
and so there's so many gamers that kind of missed out on that. So
too many people still can't get a PS5, Sony.
Yeah.
I mean, I have one. You have one.
Yeah, true.
But, our buddy Tay.
We're a special breed, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like there's games out there that you're missing out on. And one interesting thing, so one of the games that I got super excited about during the State of Play, and I know it's already out on PC, you can download it on Steam. It's this Stray, where you're like a stray cat, right? Like,
so unique.
I think this is one of the coolest concepts. Like,
I agree.
And the cats look real.
And like we're the humans, right? Everything I've seen has been basically
there's like robots,
right? And androids, maybe?
And like
droids,
robots and cats. Like, where are the people? Like, what's going on? And how did the cats survive? Right? Like, just weird.
I'm here for
weird kind of game, but yeah, definitely a different look. I did find it entertaining that right in the middle of that trailer, like almost to the end of the trailer, there's a picture of the cat and he's like walking and it says not actual gameplay at the bottom of the screen. I don't know if anybody caught that, but
I definitely missed that.
It's really funny. Like, here, let me see. I'm right on it right now. I stopped it right at the right time, but like straight up at the bottom, not actual gameplay.
It's like, all right, cool. Appreciate that.
Okay. Well, thanks for the heads up. Yeah. But
now one cool announcement with that, and I'm really, don't work for the company anymore. Sorry, but I know there's new tiers of PlayStation Plus coming, and if I'm not mistaken, the second and third tier of PlayStation Plus, if you're a member of those, this game will be included in that membership.
Yeah.
So July 19th is the release date, and I think June 13th is when these new tiers release. So if you're on tier 2 or 3. Sorry, I don't know the actual names of those, but if you're on those tiers, you should be able to play Stray without paying any additional money, as long as you've paid the extra money for those tiers. Kind of confusing, but I think it'll make sense once it's all broken down and laid out straight for the consumer. So that's kind of cool.
So I'm gonna skip ahead from a couple things that were on the list for State of Play because there's a game that I don't know that I'm more excited for any other game that's coming out this year. And I don't know why, because I've never been good at these. But Street Fighter.
Man.
Like, can we get going into it right now? Like,
come on.
Like, Street Fighter 6 looks ridiculous. Yes. And it's really not Street Fighter 6, right? It's like Street Fighter like 20.
Come on. Based on what they've showed, yes, you're absolutely right.
We've had like Street Fighter 3 Alpha, Street Fighter, like Alpha
so
2, Alpha 3, like whatever, right?
The EX plus alphas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's so many
Street
different
Fighter
randoms.
Cross Tekken. You could go a lot. But Capcom, again, this is another Capcom title, so we're all in on the Capcom stuff for this state of play for sure.
I mean, we are OGs, so pretty sure we've played quite a few Capcom games, right? It's been around.
Too many, actually, way too many. And I'm excited to share here on the OGs. We're actually going to give away a copy of 3 separate Capcom games to people that follow the Delusion Group YouTube channel, and then follow us on social media. We'll be tweeting this stuff out. OGs Pod, you can find us on Twitter, but we're going to be giving away a copy of Ultra Street Fighter 4 for PC, Street Fighter 5 for PC, and then Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen for PC as well.
Come on, guys, get hyped.
So
free games, can't beat it.
3 free games for PC, all from Capcom.
Great games too.
Yeah, and Street Fighter 5 I thought was great. I cannot wait for 6. It just looks so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm super hyped for that game.
Same here, man.
I don't know that there's another game on the list that I'm more hyped for. But Street Fighter 6 has me like ready to go. And I'm not good at Street Fighter games, but I love them. I love them. Yeah,
like I can say I've been raised on Street Fighter. Like my dad was just a diehard, is a diehard Street Fighter fan, and man, like our weekends, I'm talking from SNES to PlayStation to Dreamcast to PS2, like you name the console, if there was a Street Fighter game on it, we were playing it. So I like, we can't wait. Dude, my dad doesn't keep up with games the way he used to, but when he saw this trailer, it wasn't like, hey, I want this. He said, I need this in all caps. Like,
like I need this now.
Yes.
Yeah. I think there's some excitement around this one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be surprised, those of you that are watching and listening to this episode, if at some point we also give away a copy of a Street Fighter game on the Sega Genesis. Like, I'm just going to put it out there. I may have additional copies of one of the Street Fighter titles that came out on Genesis.
Wow.
Just sitting back here. There's right behind this Spider-Man that you can barely see back here. You can see his eyes right behind my hand, right? There's a bucket of Genesis games. I know for a fact there are extra copies of a couple Street Fighter games in there. We may raffle those off or give those away as well.
That's awesome. And so, yeah, viewers, you guys gotta stay tuned, man, because who knows? We might be giving stuff away.
I have a feeling we're going to give a lot of stuff away over the course of time. There's some stuff. I have a couple other things. And you were talking about Destiny earlier. I have some Destiny stuff, Destiny swag that we may be giving away as well as we continue with the show and put stuff out there. I'm kind of thinning the herd of my collectibles a little bit too, because I have way too many collectibles sitting here, and a lot of them are in bins and boxes, and will never see the light of day, and it's better for someone else to enjoy them than for me to have them just sitting in boxes. So
most definitely,
I'm sure that's gonna happen a lot over the course of time. But speaking of things like in time, like Season A Letter to the Future,
man,
like
looks gorgeous.
I literally sat there. So we've talked about it a little bit. I sent you my thoughts on the state of play, and I watched this at 4:00 in the morning. Right. That was the night that I just was not sleeping. And I messaged you at like 6 and was like, well, I got to watch it at 4 a.m. This game legitimately has me quite like super confused.
Right,
I don't know what it's about really. Like,
same.
Graphically, I think okay, it's cool. It's like it looks like it's hand drawn, which I'm always in on.
She set out to record
like
at the end of this season.
It just looks like it's going to be this super story driven game.
Yeah.
And like some of the characters don't seem to match up with this main character that they're showing.
Right.
When the season turns,
they've got me like
what will remain?
questioning whether I should be playing this game or not.
Yeah, like I'm
Like-
so curious because like it seems like you're obviously exploring, capturing
Taking
photos,
pictures, yeah,
probably
like,
interacting
He
with people
carries
in
the
different
souls
areas,
of the
getting
season
stories.
with him.
But I'm wondering, like, I don't remember. It's been days, but like I'm assuming since it's called seasons, I would have to assume seasons are changing,
yeah, like
and so it affects the settings possibly. It looks amazing though. Like I love the visuals. It looks like one of those really nice calming games.
and then it's not gonna be.
You never know. You're right.
Anytime we think, oh, this is
looks
gonna be super
relaxing.
chill, and then all of a sudden you're like, I'm playing Tunic and stressing out, which is also coming to PlayStation actually.
Yeah.
And I've played that the other night when we were talking. This is like 2 weeks ago. We were just talking about like getting prepared for the show and putting this first show together. While we were talking that night, I was playing Tunic on Game Pass on Xbox when we were just chatting.
Yeah.
And I think I cannot wait to let like PlayStation fans that haven't gotten their hands on that game already. Like it's a super cool game for them to jump into, and I hope
Most
they really
definitely.
like can enjoy it.
Yeah.
What did you think about the Final Fantasy 16 trailer?
Man,
like,
dude, it looked epic. It looked amazing. I know. I believe they're just summons, right? Like,
yeah,
they definitely show up in most of the Final Fantasy games, but Final Fantasy X is one of the most, or at least for me, one of the most important Final Fantasies because I actually like just got wrapped into the story and had to do everything, not just beat the main story, and that doesn't happen often for me with RPGs.
yeah,
And so I remember calling these things aeons. I don't know. I sorry, I don't want to come off as a poser. If they're aeons in other Final Fantasy games, I apologize, but I just remember them being called aeons in Final Fantasy X. But they're definitely summons, and it seems like they are going to be very important in this game. And I just can't wait to see what's going on. Like it looks visually stunning, music's
yeah.
epic. Oh,
Well, and that's
yeah, I can't wait.
the music in the Final Fantasy games is always crazy, right? And I'm not sharing the audio on this trailer intentionally because I'm sure we get hit for copyright.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah, we definitely don't want that. But the music in Final Fantasy games has always been amazing. I'm super excited to see. Visually, it looked just completely out there. Like,
Yeah.
The chocobos look like they actually have feathers, which to me is a big deal. I always complain about hair and feathers, and like there's just certain things that always bother me in games, and that's kind of one of them. When you see a bird, like, does it really look like a bird?
Right.
But yeah, I'm super excited about that. But I mean, Capcom has been super busy.
Oh wait, sorry, real quick, my bad. Before we go on this tangent, this Capcom tangent, Roller Drone. This is definitely something I wanted to at least bring up. There's a bunch of big budget AAA games that were shown off at this State of Play, but Roller Drone looked really neat. I'm not sure if you guys remember Jet Set Radio or Jet Grind Radio.
When they're re-releasing that, right? Like, Sega's
they are
actually working on that right now.
But it looked like that, but with guns almost. Like you're doing all these crazy tricks with your character on roller skates, but then you're also landing shots on enemies in these arenas. The game looks really neat, and it also has a similar art style. Like it's nice and I believe cel shaded. But yeah, I really love what Sony did with this State of Play because they showed off a lot of big games and then they sprinkled in a couple of games here that I think definitely deserve people's attention. And I think this is one of them. Looks
I think
very
this one will
unique.
I think it'll be interesting to see how it plays multiplayer.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's definitely a different type of game. I don't know that we've seen anything like it really.
Yeah.
I could have done without, like, I would have probably been more interested in it if it were more realistic looking.
Right.
I know a lot of people love the cel shading, but like, could you imagine if it looked like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater?
Oh man, that'd be wild.
But played the way that gameplay is showing, like, I think that would be really, really cool.
Definitely.
But yeah, I think it's one of those that people will get into. So,
Mhm. But yeah, sorry.
no, you're
you were
good.
saying,
You're good. No, Capcom. I was just going on the Capcom rant again. Like, I just don't know that we've seen. Like, it felt like a Capcom showcase instead of a state of play. Like, it was just like, hey, here's one thing from Capcom. Here's another thing. Like, here you go. Here's another one, and they were just. It was big,
just
heavy
smacking
hitters.
us. Yeah.
Right. Like, it wasn't just little light. Like, oh, they got another cute little game coming out. Like, no,
these are big boys. Yeah.
The only thing I think we were missing, honestly, that I was like, dang, I wish they would have done this, would have been a Devil May Cry.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
that's true.
Like, you could have hit me with a Devil May Cry there, and I would have been like, all right, all is well in the world.
I mean, he doesn't get the love he used to get, but like, we're missing Mega Man. You know, like, where's Mega Man, dude? I would love to see him pop back up eventually, but I know Mega Man's not doing Resident Evil numbers. Mega Man's not doing Monster Hunter numbers, not doing Street Fighter numbers. You know what I mean? Like, these are big, heavy hitters, and you can tell that these games are gonna have legs.
You know, the other one, and I know some people are just gonna be like, wait, what? Like, why are you bringing this up? Beautiful Joe.
Oh my gosh, I used to love Beautiful Joe.
How long has it been since the last Beautiful Joe game? I want to say 2005.
You're probably right.
I want to say it's been that long.
And I think they only did.
I'm here for it. Like, okay, Beautiful Joe was 2003.
Yeah, and
2 was in 2004, and then Red Hot Rumble and Double Trouble were in 2005. Both of those.
Now, were Double Trouble and Red Hot Rumble like legit Beautiful Joe games, or were they like spin-offs?
Double Trouble was the one on DS.
Okay, the DS game.
Because that was the whole play on the Double Trouble being two screens.
Right, makes sense. 2 screens, yeah.
And then Red Hot Rumble was on GameCube.
Gotcha.
And then PSP.
Oh wow! So yeah, I personally only played the first 2. I haven't played the other ones.
Yeah, that was like oh man, I want one. I want it now. Like, somebody at Capcom needs to figure out a way to get me a Beautiful Joe game in the next, couple years. I mean, it's been too long.
Dude, we used to yell around our house just screaming "Henshin a Go-Go, baby," like, all the time.
Yeah, like I could see it. Like,
yeah,
and it's been long enough that people would be like, there are going to be enough gamers that won't have a clue what that game is. Like, they'll be like, what is this? I've never seen this before.
Yeah. No,
not OGs like us, but like,
yeah.
I guarantee you, like I would bet you my oldest has no idea.
Yeah, and but that's the cool thing about us being OGs. Like, we're having these conversations, and then someone can just go down this rabbit hole and Google Beautiful Joe, and hopefully somehow get their hands on it to try it out. Or shake something up to where Capcom's like, yeah, you know what? Let's get back into it, because those were so much fun.
Yeah, I think that game really does need some new release for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, even looking at the logo gets me excited.
Right?
I'm like, oh, I missed that game. I missed that game a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and it has so much fun with time. Oh, look at that. That's just
like, I know that's kind of a pixely version of it if you're watching us visually,
fancy TV.
Like, it's one of those games where I'm just like, man, I could use another one of those.
Same. I'm with you.
And the last release was in 2005. It's been too long. Capcom, come up with something. Give me something. But they did so many good things in this, and there were still options out there for things that they didn't give us any more of.
Right.
We didn't get another Monster Hunter announcement, which I kind of expected.
There has to be another one coming to PC and console. Like I'm sorry, major consoles. No disrespect to the Switch.
Yeah, I mean, well, and I've been playing the ones on Switch, so there's
Rise is fantastic. Right? Like, Rise is so good.
And Stories 2 was really good.
See, those I haven't touched, but I heard they are a good time.
And they had Amiibo, which, guess what? They suckered me in again. Yeah, like, I actually didn't know the game was even being released on that one. Like, I just totally missed the announcement somewhere. Yeah. And then I saw the Amiibo out, and we're like, oh, man, there's another game.
Where there's an Amiibo, there's a game.
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah. And other times I'm like, But, yeah, I think Capcom has some great IPs. I think there's still some stuff out there that they didn't touch. So they've got a lot of things going on, and hopefully we can see some new stuff.
I know we're giving out a code for it, but like Dragon's Dogma, they literally only made one of those games, and then of course Dark Arisen is a re-release.
Yeah.
But there's no sequel to my understanding, and that game is amazing. It's slept on, man. It's a really fun game. So I would love to. I don't know. Maybe Jeff Keighley works some magic tomorrow during the Summer Games event, or actually, I know Capcom has an event coming, but they said it's going to be about games that they've already announced. But I would love to see Dragon's Dogma 2 pop up somewhere.
So here's an interesting 2 years ago. This is an interesting Dragon's Dogma 2 wormhole that you can rabbit hole you can kind of go down. Towards the end of 2020, Capcom became the victim of a cyber attack in which the company later confirmed as customized ransomware attack that led to unauthorized access to its network.
Oh, man.
Whilst the bulk of data stolen related to corporate, employee, and customer information, there was also another consequence of Capcom's alleged game development plans, including likes of Resident Evil 4 Remake, Monster Hunter 6, and Dragon's Dogma 2.
Dang.
So
let's go.
Like all kinds of rumors, and then it's funny because like the original leaked documents had a Q2 2022 release date.
That was probably pre-COVID.
Yes, pre-COVID. Well, yeah, for sure. Yeah, but now it's it says we could see one pushed back till later into 2023.
Wow.
But yeah, I'd be excited to see that.
Yeah, I'm here for it, man.
Yeah, but Capcom, well done.
Shout out to you.
You really pushed through that state of play. So
now, Ryan, before we transition, like the state of play, like what are your thoughts? Like, I hate grading and I hate putting numbers on things, but I think PlayStation did a great job on Twitter and socials letting you know, hey, this thing is going to be third party and it's going to be PSVR 2 related, and it was that. And so knowing really
knowing that it was going to be third party and knowing that they weren't going to touch the few games that I really wanted to see more of, I still wanted to see them, and I knew they weren't coming.
Yeah,
I knew I wasn't going to see more God of War,
right? Because that's first party.
It's first party, right? And then I knew I wasn't going to see more Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
But I also, shockingly enough, even though it's a kind of a competitor for Gran Turismo, I was hoping to see F1.
Oh yeah.
On PS5.
Right.
I am a sucker for driving games.
Nice.
I don't know why. Probably because it's cars that I'll never ever drive. Like when I play Forza Horizon and get in a Bugatti and like I have my headphones on and I'm just bumping, right? Like
living it up.
And I'm like, I'll never drive this car in real life. So I'm gonna have to take advantage of it here.
Right.
But I wanted to see F1. I've seen some of the previews for this new one.
Yeah.
I wanted to see more of it. I just feel like they could have given me just a nugget more that wasn't Capcom. Capcom did great.
Yeah.
And some of the independent games, like the indie games they had on there, I thought were good. I thought there was some quality stuff on there.
Yeah.
I just want more first party. Like I'm here for when it comes to PlayStation. And we're kind of
why you're there.
I'm there for the first party stuff. We have more Xboxes in this house than we do PlayStations, partially because of availability, right?
Yeah.
And just that's the reality. We knew we were going to be able to get Series S's and they'd be available, so we picked them up. And the kids play on those, so I tend to game a lot on that. But if I had another PS5, I'd play more because right now it's on the TV directly behind me. It's not hooked up to where I can stream. Like, I mean, I could.
Right.
There's a stream set up behind me as well, which you can't see. Like underneath that FC Cincinnati sign, there's a laptop folded up there that has the ability to stream from there as well.
Yeah.
Everything. There's 19 consoles behind me.
Woo.
All of them are hooked up to where I could stream from that laptop if I wanted to.
That's cool, man.
But I'm not doing that. Like most of my streaming is done where we're sitting right now and talking, right?
Right.
Because it's just more convenient.
Exactly.
My PS5 doesn't get a lot of stream time. I do have a camera for it. I still haven't hooked it up.
Dude, that camera. Ugh.
Yeah.
Man, if you ever get a chance, like when you're bored and have downtime, just
Yeah.
hook it up and mess around with it.
Okay.
Compared to any other camera you've ever owned.
Well, I mean, and I have a really nice, like, I have the Razer Kylo Pro that we're using now, and then
Nice.
I got that Elgato face cam. Like,
oh, nice. So yeah, you're gonna plug in this PS5 camera, and you're gonna probably vomit and throw it away.
am I gonna toss it?
It's-
Yeah. So the other thing that Sony did that was really nice, if you had a PS4 camera, you could order the adapter
For
the
VR.
to hook up to PS5.
Yeah.
And I have that, and I just never bothered because my PS4 camera is still hooked up to my PS4.
There it is.
And it's actually on the top of the TV right behind me. You can see it still right up there, right?
Nice.
Like right there, if you're looking carefully.
Enhance.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I want to see more first party stuff. So that's where I was disappointed. I would say it was a B plus.
Yeah, I would definitely give it that.
We're gonna grade it. Like if they'd given me some God of War, they could have bumped it right up to an A minus A pretty easily.
Like I don't know. I could say me personally, completely like even still giving it that B plus. I would say just satisfied. I feel like based on what they said beforehand, they gave us that, and they gave us some good stuff. I think it was probably one of the best state of plays that they've put together. One thing you want to start to pay attention to, and I'm pretty sure you already do this, but like they have state of plays and then they have showcases, and then the showcases are the big boys where it's first party stuff.
Yeah, I get that.
And now the thing is though, since we just got a really nice state of play, I would have to assume we should be getting a really nice showcase before the end of this year.
That's my guess. We should get a showcase within the next couple weeks with the non-E3.
Right. They could do so sometimes they would do a state of play where it's focused on one title. So they could do a God of War state of play, and they dig into gameplay and they give us a release date and then they show off the different versions.
So, yeah, no, I definitely see that where it could be.
Sorry about that.
No, we're good. We could get something different for sure.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be interesting to see kind of where we're at, and what we see next. But before we transition to the next one, we want to thank our partners at Rogue Energy. We really do appreciate them. Go to rogueenergy.com, use the code Delusion Group, and you can get 10% off all of your energy drink needs. Again, it's code Delusion Group at rogueenergy.com. We will be right back after this brief break. All right, Brian, let's dive right in. Summer Games Fest is here.
Woo.
Jeff Keighley has told us to temper our expectations, I think was his exact term, right? Like,
yep.
But we've already talked about Street Fighter 6 a little bit, but I just happened to catch a tweet that says, tomorrow Street Fighter 6 comes to Summer Games Fest. Don't miss the character reveal and new gameplay during the live show.
Ooh. You know who they didn't show off?
Who's that?
Ken. We didn't see Ken at all.
We didn't see Ken at all. That's true. I don't remember seeing Blanca.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Dalsum.
True. A lot of OG characters.
All the OGs, because we are the OGs, right?
Come on.
Yeah. But that's at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So right in the middle of my workday, I'm gonna be trying not to get fired. And I mean, I think they understand at this point that if there's a game announcement, I'm probably not missing it.
Right.
Speaking of which, today's Call of Duty trailer.
Ooh.
Are you hype? Are you meh? Or where are we at on the Call of Duty front at this point?
All right. So I'm everywhere, to be quite honest with you. I really enjoyed the Modern Warfare campaign, like the last reboot. Mm-hmm. So I'm really looking forward to the campaign in this one. There were some interesting things they did with certain situations that happen in reality that they kind of tweaked in the game. I'm not here for that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
In terms of just what it is and what it does, I'm looking for big bangs, big explosions, things that are visually stunning. I think they're gonna nail that. I think the multiplayer, I gotta see more, of course. Just I mean, they didn't show any of it to my understanding. So I'm really curious to see what's happening with multiplayer because that's where their bread and butter is. But in terms of playing the campaign, I'm in. I'm sold.
Yeah. Modern Warfare 2 is the Call of Duty that I played the most.
Nice.
By far my favorite of the games. So I was really excited when they announced that they weren't going to release a Call of Duty this year.
Right.
I was super excited about that. I don't believe you need one every year. I think it would improve the series a lot if they took some time off.
I agree.
But here I am, like we're talking about Call of Duty again. I think it's going to be a very, very interesting time to be a Call of Duty fan because I think they have spent a ton of time on Warzone. But are they going to give me enough single player that I'm going to spend $60 to buy this game?
That is a good point. I mean, I guess I'm sitting here saying I'm in for the for the single player campaign. But that's a great question because $69 for probably 3 to 4 hours. I don't know. So you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that because now like realistically, I gotta wait for reviews. I gotta see what's going on with multiplayer because I'm not gonna pay $70 for a 3-4 hour shooter campaign. Just being honest, like it does look really good though. Don't get me wrong. And I know Activision and they definitely need a bounce back, and this would be it. But the complete package, I got to see the complete package before I'm once again, thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, I need to see the complete package before I say, hey, here's my $70. I'm really curious about the campaign though. Don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be solid and fun, but I'm not sure if that by itself is gonna be worth the price.
So I'm gonna play devil's advocate here.
Okay.
Because we're the OGs. And I know we didn't technically pay our own money to play old school Nintendo games. Okay?
True.
The average player time that it took to beat Super Mario Brothers 3 on howlongtobeat.com, 358 players polled. What do you think the average is?
Man, you said which Mario? Mario 3?
Mario 3.
Less than 3 hours.
4 hours and 50 minutes is the time on there, right?
See, that was a different time though, because how many times were you doing that?
I get it. I get it.
I got you though.
But and I'm also, and I've talked about this before, and people get tired of hearing me talk about it, but Punch Out. Mike Tyson's Punch Out, other than the fact that you could never really beat Mike Tyson. The average main completionist played that game for 3 hours.
Wow.
Now, there are people that beat it in less than 2 hours. Like it says rushed, and there's a time for an hour and 57 minutes. I think that I beat it in a much faster time than that.
Yeah.
When I beat it. And I actually did the stream. Like I played it and put it on our YouTube channel.
Nice.
And you can go check that out. It's out there for people that want to go back and look. It's one of my old school. It was a Monday Night because Mario is in that game, and people tend to forget that Mario is in that game. But I beat the game in 39 minutes and 37 seconds.
What's the record? Well, obviously, don't go out of your way to look that up. But
I have no idea what the world record is.
Dang, that's insane.
I will look that up though because I have no idea.
That's quite impressive.
But it was not edited. Like I didn't edit the video at all. It was just straight through. Yeah. The world record is 19 minutes and 41 seconds.
Whoa, that's nuts.
And that was in March. It was up. That was March 9th of 2022. So 3 months ago.
So recently.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's just to me like, and I agree with what you're saying because I'm not gonna pay $60 for a game until I know I'm gonna really spend time playing it. And we talked prior to the show coming on, and I'm sure I'll save that clip for later because we're always recording, right? But like, I still haven't played Ratchet and Clank, because I didn't want to pay $70 for it,
right?
And now I'm probably going to play it based on everybody I've talked to. I'm probably going to play it and be like, dang, I should have spent $70 for that.
It's fantastic, man. It really is a great game.
But, I'm excited to see what comes out tomorrow. Looks like we're going to get more looks at Call of Duty, right? The Callisto Protocol, which actually we didn't talk about during the state of play, but it was in that.
I didn't realize that team, some of those guys and gals worked on Dead Space.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I'm watching the trailer. I'm like,
this survival horror game ever, right?
Hands down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm watching the trailer. I'm like, man, this reminds me of Dead Space. And
that's
here we go.
Yeah. That's why. Yeah.
Makes perfect sense.
And then 2 superhero games that I'm really hoping we see something from tomorrow. I'm really hopeful to see some Gotham Knights.
Yeah.
And then Marvel's Midnight Suns.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah. What are you most looking forward to with that game?
So it's developed by Firaxis, and they are known for the XCOM games. And those are so fun if you like strategy games.
Yeah.
I know last year when it was revealed, the battle system was card-based, which I personally don't have an issue with. But I guess they were, I don't want to say bashed, but they got a lot of feedback basically. And so speculation is tomorrow, not only will we get a release date, but we're also going to get a new system that isn't completely card-based. But I'm in either way. Like, I love the Midnight Suns in general, like Wolverine, Blade, Doctor Strange. I think I'm Ghost Rider. Like, oh my God, come on, take my money. Yeah. And I feel like lately games that that are Marvel based have been pretty solid. Can't say that years ago, but they've been pretty good lately.
No more than
and
a few
I don't know. I don't know what else to really say. I can't wait for this one, man. This is just right up my alley.
2K just has been putting out bangers.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's the other thing. Like, Firaxis is good, but 2K has been really solid, with the exception of, like, there's some flaws in WWE, but this year's WWE game, and we've talked about this before, is the best that we've had in a while.
Yeah, I bought it thanks to you, and I'm enjoying it. It's really fun.
But this game looks phenomenal. Like, I can't wait to see. I think I'm more excited about this one than I was about the Square Enix Avengers game.
Yeah, same. Especially after being able to play that game. I don't know. Once again, we were talking about games as services earlier at the beginning of the show, and that's a game where it's just, that wasn't the right move, you know? Like, compare Marvel's Avengers to Marvel's Ultimate Alliance 3 on the Switch. And I'm not sure if you've played both, but I can honestly tell you, hands down, I had so much more fun with Ultimate Alliance 3.
I can say I've played both, and I can say my 5-year-old has played both, and he prefers Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
I played him with my 8-year-old, and I can say the exact same thing. I agree with you 100%.
I think he loves the Square Enix game. Looks more realistic,
right?
But he prefers the gameplay on the other one.
Yep.
And we played the first Marvel Ultimate Alliance game together on Xbox, to its completion. It was the first game that he and I really played together.
Yeah.
And I still think that series is probably one of the best.
And before that, I think it was X-Men Legends. Did you play those? Oh man, those are so much fun.
Yeah, and I'm just hopeful that this one, Midnight Suns, is as good as what we're expecting.
Same.
I'm scared for Gotham Knights. I have a real fear about that game being bad.
I'm with you on that too.
And I love the Batman games. By far, Batman games and the Spider-Man game on PlayStation, I think, are the two. And I think it's because the combat is similar.
Yeah, definitely.
I am really fearful for Gotham Knights because they canceled the Xbox One and the PS4 versions of that game already.
Yep.
Which tells me that they encountered some sort of issue that game could not run on those consoles.
Yep.
Now, if it's graphically fine, but if it was
it's
like
not, think about what you've seen. And I'm not here to bash the devs or the publishers, but think about what you've seen. It's not the graphics.
I haven't seen anything. We haven't seen any gameplay, right? Like we legitimately at this point have not seen much gameplay at all of that game.
I'll have to try to find you a link, but recently they showed gameplay of Red Hood and I want to say Nightwing. And man, yeah, they were getting a lot of crap for it because the characters just look sluggish in combat. And when you think of the other Arkham games, sluggish and combat don't go together at all, you know?
Yeah.
It's also interesting, and I could be wrong about this, but there's 4 playable characters, but it's only 2-player co-op.
I don't understand that at all.
It's weird, right? Like I think they're hitting a bunch of hiccups and technical difficulties possibly, and I could be wrong. I know I've never made a game before, but it's just, I don't know, it's kind of weird.
So a little bit of gameplay here with Nightwing, but like I still think it's just there's not been enough. So this is from about a month ago. So they've obviously been working on this since, but
seriously, like look at this. Do you really do you think PS5, Xbox Series when you see this?
Nope.
Oh. And it doesn't look bad or anything. Like it doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look like it.
But look at the leg movement on the character. Yeah. Like I just don't. So if you're listening to the podcast on audio, you're totally missing out on some of these trailers. But like, it just doesn't stand out to me as a game that is gonna just wow me. But I need it to, because I need another superhero game that I can enjoy. But
yeah, because shout out to Batman Arkham Asylum. That's the first one, right? Whew. That game was.
Took me 4 years to beat it.
Special
we
game.
were talking about earlier. Like, I literally wanted to complete that game, and I would wander around. Then Arkham City was worse. I think it took me. I don't even know when that game released, but I know it took me a long time to beat that.
Yeah, man. Funny story about Arkham City. I'm not gonna spoil it, but thanks to GameStop, a customer spoiled it. This customer traded it in days after release.
Yeah.
And I was just like, whoa, didn't like it? He's like, no, I loved it. Except for the end. I can't believe blah, 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 blah. And slapped the game onto the counter. And I was just like, hey, I'm still playing this. He's just like, I mean, don't you guys do this for a living? I'm like, well, yeah, we sell them for a living. We don't play them for a living. I'm here more than I'm home.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, Mass Effect 3 got ruined for me that way.
Dang, sorry to hear that.
So
that was it. That was that was the big controversy.
Yeah.
The ending.
Yeah. So like the thing is that when somebody said what happened in that game, I was like, yeah, right, whatever. But then when I actually played through it and that was what happened, I was so disappointed that was a thing. But yeah, Arkham City still has 10 out of 10 on Steam.
I believe it, man.
IMDb has it at a 9.4 out of 10. And here's where you start feeling like an OG. You know that game's 11 years old.
Wow. Ugh.
Like,
hey man, we really are.
It came OGs, out. Huh? It came out in 2011. Jeez. Like October 18th of 2011. I still have the collector's edition, like statue.
Nice.
In it up on the shelf over here. Like, it's probably got 11 years worth of dust on it.
Hey, but you got it though.
Yeah, but like I can't believe that game's that old.
Yeah, that's wild.
Even the Game of the Year edition only came out 10 years ago. But the new one, I could kill for a new one that is going to be fun. It looks like Jeff Keighley leaked out some stuff. It looks like we're going to see a One Piece.
Oh, nice.
A One Piece game. I'm not a huge fan of One Piece, but I know there are a lot of people out there that are.
I Got a bunch of friends and family that love One Piece.
One Piece Odyssey looks like the name of it.
I heard it's like
a video.
Open world like action RPG, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's money in the bank right there.
I'm super excited that in the one trailer for Game Fest they showed some F1, so hopefully we'll get to see some of that.
There you go.
The other thing they showed in the one clip, it's a game that we have to play together. We actually like you and I have to be in the same room playing together.
I'm excited about this. What is it?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredders.
Oh, yes.
Like that's gonna have to be played in the same room. Like we will have to like sit on the couch and play and have the cameras on us because I have a feeling that we're both gonna be like
in heaven,
old schooled out. That because it looks like it's gonna play exactly like that old TMNT arcade game.
Yeah, man. The best one was Turtles in Time. Did you play that one at the arcades?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So good.
So I was super close to buying one of the arcade 1-ups.
Oh, really?
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I actually have 3 in here now. I have Pac-Man, Galaga, and then Marvel Superheroes. And then I just got the Simpsons.
Dang. So what you're saying is that this Let's Play is happening at your house.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I mean this game room, like once I finally reset everything and get it, like the only reason that it hasn't been torn down yet is because I knew we were going to be recording this show, and I didn't want a whole bunch of stuff just hanging wherever.
Right.
But yeah, there's going to be some redos back here because I need more room for the arcade, for the Simpsons arcade, because it's 4-player.
That's so much fun too. Isn't that Konami, just like the Turtles games?
I believe that's who made that one.
That was fun. That was a good
time. I beat that game on 1 quarter.
Wow, you serious? Dang, dude.
Yeah, so that's actually why I got the arcade game.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this is the one game that I beat on a quarter. Like I specifically remember it was Konami. It was 1991.
Yeah.
But I remember beating that game on 1 quarter and just being like the happiest person ever because
that's not easy to do.
Well, there are people that said they could never get past the first level of that game, and I was always like, really? Like, but there's a pretty good contingent of people that were saying like, hey, this is one of the hardest arcade games ever, and I'm like, if you've played Battletoads, you can play this.
Come on, exactly.
But so yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff out there with the Simpsons arcade game, and those arcade 1-ups, while they are smaller, like they're the little 4-foot cabinets, it still gives you that little feel for like having your own arcade, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And for me, that's one of those things that I had to have. Simpsons I had to have that one. I probably am going to have to get Turtles eventually if I can find one. And then the other one I want is NBA Jam.
Oh man, remember Air Dog?
Yeah,
like the little kid.
Yeah,
like the little like the code in for Air Dog, and you're playing it. I think Bill Clinton was a
was
playable character.
Yeah. So if I can get a couple more arcade 1-ups down here, I will be like completely set.
That sounds amazing.
But it's fun. It's definitely like they're toys, right? They're not full blown arcades. They're toys.
Right, definitely.
But like it just gives you that feel for the old school arcade. Yeah. Like I joke that it should smell more like smoke down here because it was like the arcade that I grew up in was attached to a bowling alley.
Oh, nice.
So like, where it's like super smoky and you're just like, oh, like I can't. Yeah. But yeah, I really am excited to finally get the Simpsons one built, but it's going to mean moving some more furniture around down here, and there's not much room. Like I'm literally wall to wall right now. With what we've got because of the setup, but
we're
gonna set it up to where we can stream while sitting. Like there's a love seat down here. It's gonna be like right behind me. We're gonna turn it. It's over here now. We're just gonna turn it that way. So and we'll have cameras up in like 4 different locations in the room.
That sounds dope.
So we can record from multiple places. But that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, I'm pretty sure based on some of these trailers that they're showing, we're gonna see that. Tomorrow.
That makes sense.
And just quick hats off to Jeff Keighley. I know he takes a lot of heat for being like
doing it.
just in love with Hideo Kojima. Like, find you as somebody who looks at you the way Keely looks at Kojima. You know, I don't know if you remember that stuff from
Yes,
years
I
back,
do.
but like, he's legitimately doing what we want to be doing.
Seriously,
and really putting together like a great show,
mm-hmm.
and filling in the gap from where there's no E3 again this year.
Ugh. Shout out to Jeff, for real. Like, he's making June happen for gamers.
Yeah.
Like, June, you remember? I mean,
Oh,
June used
dude.
to be Christmas, you know?
Yeah, I
Before the pandemic.
remember sitting 2 iPads next to each other watching different press conferences from different development companies, because they would overlap them intentionally. So you had to like try to pick one, and I'm like, yeah, not picking one, bro. I'm watching them both.
Right.
You know, I also remember, you know, Xbox coming out when the Xbox One announced and just completely, for lack of a better term, shitting the bed.
Man.
And when they were like, you're not going to be able to play pre-owned games and you're not going to be able to do this. And then the next day, PlayStation was like, you're totally going to be able to do this.
Here's how you share games. And just hand a disc to another person.
Yeah. But you know, while all those things happened back in the day, like, I was actually talking to somebody about this earlier today. It's a different time to be a gamer now. You're not waiting in line at midnight to pick up your favorite game. You're literally downloading it ahead of time. And then just like waiting for midnight or 3 a.m. or whatever time that the server goes live.
Right. Because your game's already pre-installed.
It's pre-installed. Yeah. Like, it's just different. And I think we got out of GameStop at a pretty good time, because it was right as, you know, physical media like was really seeing a downturn, and a lot of the digital stuff was coming in. But I miss those midnight events. I miss the big reveals during E3. I think there's something to be said about all of those events.
I agree with you.
And I'm hoping that we get back to that at some point. I actually told somebody today, I really hope someday there's another midnight release that I get excited about.
Right. Because I mean, you're like, really think about it. Even before you worked, even before you had to work the midnights, I know you just like me went to those midnights.
Oh yeah.
And there's nothing like being in the same space with like-minded individuals. And I'm talking because of a hobby or because of something that you really love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
there's nothing like it.
I can throw it out there. GameStop store 749 still in existence. Still run by our friend Devin. She back in the day, before she had that store, we used to do tailgate parties for Madden and for NCAA, and we'd bring like a portable grill, and everybody would tailgate prior to the release of those games. Like, and that was, I mean, Shane was running the store. He's still at GameStop, but Shane used to run that store when we would do those events. Caroline, I don't know if you remember her.
No, I don't think I ever met.
She was there for a while, but I mean, there were a ton of different people. Isaac, I actually know, like, I could probably rattle off every store manager at 749 because that was my store. It was one closest to the house, right? But like, those events used to be the bomb. Like,
yeah, man, they were special.
I tried to explain to an assistant store manager or store leader, whatever they call them now, what it was like running the Black Ops 2 midnight launch. That was my first launch as a store manager at Turfway. We had 925 reserves on that game.
Ooh,
and we had 600 people show up for the midnight. We had a line wrapped all the way around Sam's Club. Like, I just remember, the other day I saw some pictures from it, and I was like, man, this event, I forgot about how stressed I was that day.
Dude, my first midnight launch as a store manager, I forgot what NBA it was. It was NBA 2K, whatever year.
Were you at Brentwood?
Yes.
So you were packed.
Exactly. So like, the NBA 2K games were like a Call of Duty release. But on top of that NBA 2K game, RE5, Resident Evil 5 released the same night. And I had just taken the store over maybe within a week or two. And I had people literally calling in to quit the night of the midnight. And it was just hell on earth. But hey, I'm still breathing.
March 5th.
But it was insane.
2009 was when Resident Evil 5 originally released.
There it is. Dang.
So that would have had to been a different one then, right? It would have had to been Resident Evil 6.
Sorry, maybe it was 6.
It had to have been 6.
My bad.
6 came out in October,
6.
so that would fit like.
Yeah. 6 is the one that has multiple campaigns in it, right?
I think so.
My bad. Take that back.
No, it's all good.
I was still like, NBA 2K, whatever.
Well,
but
that's
yeah,
it.
Resident
Evil
was 6.
I was like trying to figure out when. I was like, no, 5 released
6.
earlier in the year. So yeah, it was 6.
Yeah, because 5 is the one where Chris is in Africa with Sheva.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, my fault. My bad. Yeah. But yeah, it was 6. It was definitely 6. My bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to do like we have to start doing what Kind of Funny does, like that "you're wrong" thing.
Oh yeah.
Just in case we don't catch each other.
Yeah. Well, I was
yes, like, RE6. Thank you for that.
No, I was just thinking, like, I remember 5 released in like near my birthday, and that's like I was like that would have already been like NBA had been out for 6 months.
Yeah.
Or was still 6. Coming the next 6 months. But
because the 6 it looks like a giraffe or something like that.
Yeah, it's a weird shape. Yeah,
we won't get into that. But
no, so I know we're kind of this is going to be a long show for show number 1, but
it's show 1, and it's 2 weeks. You're right. We're doing this bi-weekly.
Every other week is going to lead to some long shows, I think. I do want to share a trailer for a game that we're super excited to see. It's a puzzle game. It's from our friends at the Quantum Astrophysicists Guild, as I always try to just not destroy their name. This game is called Freshly Frosted. 2 of the games actually that I thought were probably 2 of my favorite games of last year, within the last couple of years, Space Otter Charlie and then Cozy Grove. They released both of those games, and this is their newest one. It's called Freshly Frosted. It's a puzzle game. And I'll play the trailer here so people can kind of check it out. I'm super excited to play this. It's available on Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, PC. And I hopefully didn't miss any of the. I think that's all. I think it's out on everything. It's coming out on the 10th. So the day that you hear this podcast or you watch this podcast, this game will be released, and we'll have also predicted a bunch of games for Summer Games Fest that you already know about. So, right. But here you go. Here's Freshly Frosted.
Sometimes I imagine a simple donut factory floating in the clouds just to help me sort out my thoughts. Will you help me?
144 puzzle levels in that game.
Nice.
We're going to spend way too much time trying to figure out those puzzles. I can already see myself now, like when the conveyor belt thing starts going, I'm going to be like, oh, nope. But that game looks really, really cool. I think it's interesting. Shout out to them. They did send us a free code for Xbox. We will be featuring that on one of our Let's Plays for sure. But we have another Let's Play coming up as we start to wrap this show. We're going to Let's Play some Fortnite. We were planning on doing it after recording this episode, but we weren't expecting the episode to go quite as long as it
We're having too much fun, guys. Sorry.
No, it's
Hope
fun.
You're having fun with us.
Yeah, hopefully everybody's enjoying the show. But we're definitely going to play some Fortnite together at some point soon, and we'll release that Let's Play on our opposite week of our pod. So once we kind of get settled in and we get into that hour format or an hour and a half format, we'll have Let's Plays on our off weeks where you guys can either come watch us stream live, or in some cases we'll pre-record it, probably to avoid my potty mouth, honestly.
we're all human here. It happens.
Yeah,
Happens
when I play, my filter goes away. So, I know we've been talking about playing some Madden.
Yeah.
We'll probably play some Madden. We'll do some Fortnite.
I mean, I'm not good at it, but we can do FIFA. I'm pretty sure you're good at
Turtles,
FIFA, right?
FIFA, yeah, FIFA.
Oh, definitely Turtles.
Well, and there's all kinds of free stuff that's coming out. The one, what we should play, we totally have to play this. That Nickelodeon All-Stars Battle Royale game.
Yeah, I actually just downloaded that last night. So yes,
we have to play that one because I want to beat you up with Patrick Star.
Well, I'm calling Garfield, so eat lasagna while beating you up.
Hey, the Turtles are in that game too, aren't they?
Yeah, Leo and Mikey.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Shredder.
We'll definitely have to play that. Okay, since you brought up Shredder, do you know who did the voice in the original cartoon?
James Avery.
Right.
Uncle Phil.
R.I.P. Yeah.
Great actor.
I don't know where I was when I found that out, but my mind was totally blown.
Same. I'm with you.
What?
I forgot what I was watching, but and then I went back and I'm like, that's definitely him. Wow.
Totally him. Yeah, all those years later, that was totally him.
Yeah.
But before we wrap, what's one thing that you think that on Friday, when people are listening to this, they have watched on Thursday during the Summer Games Fest that they're all minds blown? Everybody's like, holy crap, I can't believe we just saw
that.
I
always call it the one more thing moment. It's always at the end.
But wait, there's more.
I feel like this makes too much sense, so I hope I'm actually wrong because this is kind of predictable. But Mr. Keeley is really good friends with Kojima. I know there's rumors of Kojima working on 2 games, one being Death Stranding 2. That would be too easy. So I think it would be the other game. And the rumor is the other game is a horror game. So I think the one more thing would be Kojima showing off his new game. But once again, that's too easy. I love Kojima, so I'm hyped either way, whether it happens or not. But yeah, that's my call. What are you thinking?
I need a new Tetris.
Ooh, wait, Tetris Effect isn't enough?
That game is amazing.
Right?
Such a good game. I need more. Give me.
Okay.
The music in Tetris Effect and the visuals in Tetris Effect were enough that I have it on PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and on Switch.
I believe it, man.
But I could use a new
more.
One.
Yeah, you can never have enough Tetris.
I could use more. I could use I could use. Oh, this is going to throw some people. I could use Luminous. I could use the new Luminous
on the PSP. That was fun. That was a good one.
That's part of Game Pass actually now on Xbox.
Oh, really?
Good to know. You can play that. I could use another one of those.
Yeah,
I can literally the first 10 levels of that game. I know every song.
Did you play in VR, PSVR?
Oh yeah,
man, such an experience.
Yeah,
if you guys are watching or listening, if you have PSVR and don't own Tetris Effect, you are doing something.
Yeah, you've got to. If you have the PSVR, you have to play Tetris Effect in VR.
It's a must.
I played it laying down. With the VR headset on my head and laying down just playing. I reset the camera so it thought while I was laying down I was looking forward.
Pretty smart.
Yeah, I played the crap out of that game. I could use one of those. There's a couple other things that I would love to see.
Yeah.
Just I know I really doubt we see it, but I want to see some gameplay from Bayonetta 3.
Ooh. Yeah, because Nintendo doesn't really play ball. They did at the Game Awards a couple years ago with the Smash Brothers announcements, but they don't really play ball for real. They kind of do their own thing.
They usually do their own thing. It's in the Nintendo Direct.
Might be
if it's not in the Nintendo Direct, then they're not talking about it.
You know what's funny? It's funny you mentioned that. I'm thinking the same thing with PlayStation. They keep saying God of War is coming this year. Why not announce it at Summer Games Fest. Instead of having a whole showcase and ending it with that, why not shake up the whole event with that? Sorry, I apologize. I feel like I cut you off, by the way.
No, you're good. No, you're fine. I think that you're right. I think you're gonna see some other things. Like, now I do find it entertaining that Jeff Keighley has already tweeted, "Sorry, no Half-Life 3 tomorrow."
I mean, come on. Who's really looking for Half-Life 3?
And then he said no Muppets.
Thank God.
As
cool as the Muppets are, as cool as they are.
I think the Muppets thing's funny, honestly. Let's see. I mean, I'm trying to see if there's any other weird ones that I'm just like, oh, I could see that.
Yeah.
Also, we didn't really mention this earlier. It's Days of Play for PlayStation.
Oh yeah, get on it.
Like, the reason that I got Ratchet and Clank is because it's super cheap right now.
Now, what are the dates? When does it end? We're not like promoting it and it's over.
No, it won't be over. It runs. Let me double check the dates because I don't want to screw it up. But here I am digging through and can't find it right away. But I feel like it's got the rest of this week and then part of next week.
Yeah, tons of must-play games. Controllers. If you have a PS5, the DualSense controllers are $59.
The sale starts. Oh no! Really?
Oh, it's over.
It's over.
Oof. No. Well, better luck next year. They do it every year. It's always worth it. If there's stuff you missed out on throughout the year,
it does say that it ends to like
right now.
8th. Yeah.
Okay.
But like,
yeah, look out for it next year.
I would guess though, with this being a thing, and you're gonna see some extra stuff. Like, there will be a new sale that starts tomorrow.
Yeah, they honestly do great sales on a weekly basis, to be honest with you. At least in terms of games. I know accessories and stuff, that depends on retailers. But the cool thing, like you were saying about Days of Play, it's everywhere.
Yeah, so that did just end for those of you that are listening to this on Friday, Thursday or Friday, whenever we release. I think we're going to release Friday, depending on how the editing goes. But there's going to be other stuff on sale.
Yeah.
Like, I'm actually pulling up the PlayStation Store while we're talking because it does still show the stuff for Days of Play on sale right now as we're recording this.
Maybe it's extended.
But yeah, I mean, it's also not 3 o'clock in the morning yet for us as we're recording.
That's true.
So I'm sure that's part of it. But ultimately, like, they're going to put more stuff on sale, and there's always some sort of deal during anything that Keighley is related to. Like,
that is true.
Tends to find a way to get some sort of deal involved there. But there's always good stuff. Sony's done a great job with sales. Xbox does a good job.
And Nintendo. But you're right about Xbox. It's so wild that they have the Game Pass service, but on top of that, they do sales.
Yeah.
For actual games you want to own. It's very impressive.
Yeah, I'm interested to see.
And then Steam.
Yeah, Steam sale, Epic sale is going on.
Epic Game Store. Yeah, they got some crazy sales happening right now too. It's a great time to be a gamer, man. There's a bunch to play, and you don't have to pay full price.
This is the one I'm looking most forward to right now.
It's available now, right?
It comes out but yeah, as this releases, we'll be able to play it. Mario Battle Strikers.
Or is it? No, it's Friday, right?
It comes out Friday. Yeah, it comes out on the 10th. But by the time, that'll be realistically when we release this podcast. And when this show goes out, you'll be able to play Battle Strikers. It looks really, really cool. Man, I love the other games. Yeah, the one on GameCube was great. They've also said that they're going to have weekly content, like that it's going to be like a games as service game, so you can unlock additional outfits and things for the characters in game and stuff. So that should be pretty exciting.
Definitely.
I'm really hoping that Keighley has some Nintendo things up his sleeve.
Me too.
And that's where I'm really, really looking forward to it, just to see what we can get out of it. Like,
Yeah.
what are we gonna see? Like, are we gonna see more Capcom stuff? Probably, because they've been really good at doing that. I'm hopeful that, and this game is already out, I hope we can see some more about Diablo Immortal, because I knew it
Yeah, I still need
released.
to play that.
I knew it released, and I downloaded it on my phone, and I haven't been able to see it really a whole lot yet. I haven't played it, but Kotaku has an article out. I sent you this earlier before we get
I
on the
saw
show
that.
about how it's too good to be free. So I'm hopeful that it actually is really too good to be free, and they're not just blowing smoke up Blizzard.
Yeah.
But
I'm not sure if you do you watch Game Ranks? I believe that's what they're called on YouTube.
No.
Jake Baldino.
No.
They do this great series. It's called Before You Buy. And so it's basically a game review, but they don't score it or grade it. It's literally just great footage that they've captured because they're playing, but they'll play enough of the game. Usually it's a game that they've beaten, but they'll give you just a valid review. Like, hey, this is what we like, this is what we don't like. Look out for this, and these are things that we really enjoy about the game. These are things, that type of thing. But they don't say, hey, we recommend this, or hey, we don't recommend this. They just give you the info, and then you make the decision yourself instead of feeling obligated to buy something because it has an 8 or an A or a B grade. You know what I'm saying? But they were talking about microtransactions really smacking you on the back end. Like, hey, you've invested, 50 hours into this game without spending any money. But since you've invested 50 hours, that means you're all in. Hey, how about you buy this or buy that? Obviously I can't speak on that because I haven't played it, but we all know how free to play games work. Nothing's truly free.
Yeah, they're like Fortnite, where I have 30 skins that I've paid $20 a piece for, and all of a sudden I've spent more on that game than any other game I've ever owned. Yeah, I totally know what you're talking about. That's why we're going to do a Let's Play of Fortnite, so I make an excuse to have to play more of it.
I'm here for it.
But yeah, I mean, that's just the reality for us, right? Like, especially if you have kids, like, or you have a specific character that you love. Like, so I really love Batman. So I think I have like 4 or 5 Batman skins at this point. Like,
there it is.
Every time they release a new one, I'm like, oh, do I have
to?
Like, I gotta get that.
Yeah. For me, it's Wolverine, and thank God he's not as popular as Batman. So there's only one Wolverine skin to purchase in Fortnite.
Yeah,
but yeah, there's a bunch of Batman skins.
Yeah, and I think I have Joker. I have both Harley Quinns. Like, any of those characters, they sucker me in on those. So
yeah.
But well, before we wrap up, do you have anything else you want to throw out there for everybody to consume before we're back in 2 weeks?
Honestly, yeah, no. I'm just happy to be here, man. Thankful for this opportunity. Glad to hang out with you. We don't do it enough. Glad to talk games. I don't do that enough either. So I really hope you guys enjoy the show. Please comment, please like, please subscribe. I know you hear that stuff all the time, but it really helps. And we're like, seriously, we're just passionate about gaming. So we're here to just, build a community. Like, if there's something you're excited about or something you want to see us do, however you're consuming this, please leave a review or mention it in the comments.
Share the show with your friends, even if you're not subscribing. If you see something you like, we're gonna do our best to talk about everything that's involved in the world of gaming, things that we like, things we don't like. We'll cover some of that stuff that we're just like, this is not our thing, but we know it's your thing.
Yep. So we'll touch on it.
Exactly. I think it's going to be exciting. I think we've got some really good guests lined up too. I'm excited to have some of these people on the show, and we've got some new opportunities to talk about stuff that normally we may not. We may cover a little bit more esports off and on. I mean, it's a cool time to be a gamer. There's a lot of things going on there, a lot of opportunities to just talk about games and cover some old school stuff too. I mean, I know
definitely,
like we'll talk a lot about new stuff that's out because we like to stay on top of what's out there, but there's so many old school games that just didn't get enough run back when they came out, or like we felt like, man, this is one game that I loved that nobody else ever played.
Yeah.
Like Bill Lambert's Combat Basketball that I played hundreds of hours of. But that game is so awful. But I loved it back in the day.
Kind of happens organically too. Like we just went on a whole rant about Beautiful Joe.
Yeah.
How many podcasts are you listening to, or where your hosts are talking about Beautiful Joe?
Yeah. So, and I mean, that all stemmed from Mega Man, because like for me, you have the Mega Man picture behind your head, but like for me, I loved Mega Man, but Beautiful Joe was like, it felt like a Mega Man spinoff, kind of like an over the top Mega Man, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of where that one came from. But we will be back in 2 weeks' time. Hopefully, we've got everything lined up. We're excited to share some stuff, and by then we'll have a ton of additional Summer Games Fest announcements, trailers to go through and look at. Maybe we'll get to see more Street Fighter. Speaking of which, again, we are giving away copies of Ultra Street Fighter 4.
Oh yeah, Ryan, please explain that one more time, just to make sure we're all clear.
Yeah, so
people can get that for free.
Ultra Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5, and Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. We have codes for those that we're giving away. You can subscribe to us on YouTube, share the video on Facebook, Twitter. Let's do a hashtag. We'll do a hashtag. Hashtag Capcom Rocks. How about that? We'll do.
There it is.
That way you have it. Like you'll know. Like if you hashtag Capcom Rocks, we can find that. Just do that little hashtag there, and then we'll know. We'll be able to.
There it is.
We'll be able to find those tweets and all of that stuff on social media, so we know that you're entered in. But hashtag Capcom Rocks. I know it's a cheesy hashtag, but it'll. I doubt that'll be used by anybody else for anything else. So it'll get you entered into for a chance to win a copy of one of those games for PC. And again, please follow us on social media at OGs Pod on Twitter, OGs Pod on Instagram. You can find BMax at BMax Second on Twitter, and I'm at Touched Artist as well. If you'd like to make a donation to the show, you can do that as well. You can just drop us a tip at streamlabs.com/touchedartist. And then, as always, you can also get your discounted Rogue Energy drink just by using the code DELUDE. Whoops, I hit the wrong button. Hit the wrong button.
Hey, episode 1, it happens.
Episode 1, yeah. No, I'm looking at the picture, and it's the same picture for the two different things. But you can use that code right there at the bottom of the screen, Rogue Affiliate. You use the code Delusion Group at rogueenergy.com and save 10% and help us out in the process. So
I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, it would be awesome if y'all could jump in there and do that if you're going to order from Rogue Energy anyway. So again, thanks for watching, everybody, and we will see you in 2 weeks here for a podcast, but we will see you as well this coming week for Let's Play. We're going to try to get some Fortnite in at some point, so you guys can harass us about our lack of Fortnite skills.
Exactly.
All right. Well, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, everybody.
See ya.